Hello everyone. I wanted today to discuss a concept that is often used to describe the process of constructing class consciousness, working class consciousness in the Marxist tradition, which is the dual concepts of in and for itself. If you look at some of specifically the earlier writings from Marx and Engels, they describe class consciousness as the process of the working class becoming a class for itself, of going from being a class in itself to a class for itself. And this terminology, this jargon might seem strange for those that are unfamiliar with the history of philosophy, specifically with the usage of these terms by Hegel, and more generally with the usage of the concepts of potential and actual in Aristotle, because these sets of terms, potentiality, actuality, implicit, explicit, in itself, for itself, essentially mean the same thing. And I want to explain real quick what this means. Now, if I have an acorn, within the acorn you have the potential for an oak tree. This is a very old traditional example from Aristotle. And Aristotle held that the potential, the acorn is actual, and within that acorn there is the potential, so that if the environmental conditions are right, it can imminently develop into an oak tree. It contains within it the potential to become an oak tree. This conceptualization exists in the same way in Hegel, except he's not using potential and actual. He's using sometimes implicit and explicit. So to stick to the same oak example, oak and acorn example, the acorn contains implicitly the oak tree, and when that oak tree comes about with certain specific environmental conditions that were needed in order for that implicit potential to actualize itself, it becomes explicit. It becomes explicitly the oak tree. This is the same thing with the concepts of in and for itself. The acorn has in itself the oak tree, and when the oak tree actually comes to be, it has become for itself. The acorn has turned into an oak tree for itself. It is an oak tree for itself. So concerning class consciousness, what does this mean? Well, that in itself, the proletariat, the working class, has the potential as a historically progressive class to, in the process of emancipating itself, emancipate humanity in general. This potential, it has it in itself. It has it implicitly, it has it potentially. When the proletariat attains class consciousness, when it becomes a class for itself, that means that it has come to understand its historical role as the class which emancipates all of humanity. It has come to understand that capitalism is a historical phenomenon out of which it has arisen, with the potential of actualizing human emancipation for all. So this is why we describe the process of class consciousness as a process of the proletariat becoming a class for itself. In other words, to use the Aristotelian concepts, it means that we have the potential to actualize the emancipation of all of humanity within the proletariat, or the potential to make explicit that which is implicit in the proletariat, which is the emancipation of all human beings. Thank you.